Hello there. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Nuggets to Nuggets. My name is Oluwayomi, and it's such a joy to come your way this excellent morning. Like my guest would say, it's a beautiful day to be alive, and always we thank God for the gift of life. It's because we are alive that we can be together here today. A big shout out to every single person joining me live. Thank you so much for giving me a share of your time. And like I will always ask, please like the video, share it. Let me have your comments and let somebody else know that there is something called Nuggets to Nuggets. And for those I'll watch thereafter, thank you also for giving me a share of your time. I do not take it for granted at all. Again, for you as well, please like the video, share it. Let me have your feedback. I need it. And I know that together we are building a formidable channel with value adding episodes to every single person. Everyone has something to glean from the Nuggets to Nuggets TV platform. So please, let's share it. Let's tell people about this station. Now, today we are continuing still on parenting, and it's a Father's Day edition. So a shout out to every father, every amazing dad, whether you're a biological father, you're a father by proxy, you're a father by being a role model, leading somebody, mentoring somebody. Every single man that is impacting somebody, you are a father. You're a father figure. And today we celebrate you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for being a blessing to humanity. Thank you for being there for us, the women, and for us, the children. We truly do appreciate you. We don't take you for granted at all. Yes, you have only one day in a year, but every day of the year, we truly celebrate you. Thank you so much to every father figure out there. God bless you. And still on parenting and celebrating dads, I have this amazing member of the family in the house. She's no longer a guest. We all know her. She is an experienced PR and broadcast journalist with over 20 years of expertise in television and radio. She's been here severally and she's back here again. She's a passionate advocate for women and children's welfare, and she has always been drawn to projects and initiatives that promote their empowering and well-being. She is a successful entrepreneur, serving as CEO of Reggie Panache Training Consult, an organization that specializes in training individuals and corporate bodies in diction, elocution, and public speaking. She's a professional MC, a compere, a moderator, and a voiceover artist. She is a mother. She is a grandmother. She's a single mother. She's somebody that has played the role of a mother and a father over the last couple of years. And so today she's coming today celebrating fatherhood. Please join me to receive onto the Nuggets to Nuggets platform again, Regina Chris-Ogbodo. Hey, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Excellent morning and excellent morning to everyone, wherever you are. It could be afternoon, really. So evening, whatever the time. It's amazing. It's a great day. Thank you for having me again.
Oh, and again, I'm going to have you because you keep adding value to us, to me
Thank you.
particularly, and everybody that gets to listen to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Talking about that, let me just interject here. I want to say thank you to I think I met 3 or 4 people after our last interview, and I was shocked. They recognized me and said it was an amazing one. So it's a great job we're doing. Let me say we this time around. I really appreciate it. Shout out to them, and I invited them over for today's edition. I hope they're here. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I mean, that feedback is heartwarming. Thank you that people are watching, and not just watching, that they actually are getting value added to them. And that's all Nuggets to Nuggets is about. I mean, that's what life actually is all about, adding value to countless lives. So, celebrating fatherhood. You have been in that place where you've had the father figure in the house physically present, and you're in that space now where you have to double as the mother and the father. So we're appreciating fathers, you understanding more than a lot of us who have just been blessed to have the man there and he's still there.
Mm.
And something that has become a recurring decimal now when we're celebrating fathers. You hear the present daddies, the responsible daddies, the daddies who are actually there.
Yeah.
Not just the money donors and all of you hear all of those comments. Tell me
Yeah.
from your perspective, who is a father?
Wow, I like the fact that you built on those words, descriptions, adjectives, and all this. It's so easy to say it because sometimes they say talk is cheap. Where you
Mm,
get to hear people talk about, oh, the present dad, that this, the qualifiers. And then
mm,
the truth of it is, most of them come from the mind of prejudice. And I must say that
true.
I'm serious about that. When you're prejudiced, sometimes criticism comes so easy you know.
Mm,
That's not to say that the reality is there, that some are not also present. When we talk about presence, it's not just physically just appearing on the scene, but doing what you're supposed to do at the present. And so that brings me to what a father, as far as I'm concerned. In the last 10 years, I have seen fatherhood from a different perspective, just like you said in your preamble. A father is that person that takes up the responsibility of understanding that he's not just a procreator, a creator alongside God the Father, but
mm,
also a supplier, a comforter, a helper. You might think that is being too spiritual, but it's not. A father is not just that one that just gives birth. I sat down yesterday and it just dawned on me that the word father is very heavy, very heavy. Why would we or a father be equated with the same word as God the Father? And then when you look at the processes that make God or makes God that who he is, you find out that he created, he supplies, he maintains, he helps, he listens, and he cares. And so, who is the father? Is the whole entirety of these things that I've said. And so, that is the reason why a lot of criticisms have come over the years to say that money donors. Why? Because some people just take a chip of who God is or a father is and then decide to do it. And they do it wholeheartedly. And then they don't get back the results that they're supposed to get. You know,
mm,
they they just be the donors, the suppliers, and it looks as if they're not doing enough. But it's just a I wish they could understand that it's a bigger picture. So, a
mm,
father, I have realized that being a father is not, I'm sure we're going to talk about it really, but let me just stay with that interpretation of the understanding of what a father, who a father. As far as I'm concerned, I've seen myself provide and I've seen myself supply. Provision and supplicate, supply are two different things. I've seen myself sit, I've seen myself get criticized. Yes. A father takes in, develops a thick skin for people not understanding because when you take a decision, it could be hard, but you are the ones seeing what you see. And so a father is a leader and sometimes a boss, if
hmm.
it has to be so. So that's just it. That's just
Wow,
it.
wow, wow. That's a lot. And now that explains why a lot of men are actually under pressure because
Exactly.
trying to be all of these things, it's pressure. Knowing
Mhm.
that they also have their jobs, they also have their
Yeah,
personal lives to live. And so juggling all those balls with none falling down is tough for a man. Now you have
exactly.
seen both sides of the coin. I want to flip this. Where is the role of the woman in helping the man be the father he ought to be?
Mhm. Honestly, yeah, we're doing deep today. I believe we're doing deep. Because of the privilege. I consider it a privilege. I don't think any woman, not all women would do that. Even the other single mothers. Auntie, I don't know how God did it, But when it happened, I began to have two eyes beyond just the eye. A mother, I suddenly realized that, yes, oh, mothers give birth, mothers nurture, mothers are the rarest, mothers are the administrators. I realized that, look, you see, when you don't have a leader that gives the instructions, and when I'm talking about instruction, well, designed instruction, does not lead the way, does not clear the path, does not give direction, a mother might do little. A mother might do little. So a mother is the one that understands the big picture because she's been given the picture, as it were, like a map. This is where we're going. And the direction or directives have been given with the provision to get there. So she becomes the one that takes care of the resources, manages it, and makes sure that it's appropriately, appropriately used accordingly in times, in seasons, and in moments. A mother is the one that deciphers when to say, look, we've stretched too much. I know you've given the resources, but I think we need to bring a break to it. A mother is the one that says, I know the father has given so much. I know we have everything, but I have studied these children. If we allow them have everything, it will be a problem. So she is the eye of the father. And that's why I'm careful not to use the present dad so heavily. Because when we're talking about the present dad in real sense of the word, it's like saying that the job is equal. Equality is not, or justice is not equality. Justice is deservedness. What do you deserve at whatever point? And so what is the father's responsibility? Sometimes it's not because he must be on the face of the children, because a father can wield a stick that is not necessary. But the mother has seen the stick and knows exactly where it should. And with the help and wisdom of God, begins to use it or ask the father to use it appropriately. Because if the father lands with the stick, it can be heavy. Maybe that's why God is, the Bible says is the breasted one. God knew that if he becomes the father alone, it will be too hard on us. And so he also is the breasted one, so that there will be a carrot and a stick. So let me see it this way. A mother is that carrot and the father is that stick. And they must walk together. One must not wait for the other to say, oh, you must always be in front of. No, they walk symbiotically or parallel or pari passu, as they say in those words in English. So motherhood, it's deep. It's beyond the way we understand the space. The misinterpretation is leading a lot of mothers to self-destruction. We become competitive. We don't want to stay within our lines. And that's where you get to hear lines like what a man can do, woman can do. Sometimes deeper in my mind, I tell my children, I love being a woman. I love it. So please, though, I'm not in a hurry. I don't want to. But it's been given to me by God. And that's why because I'm in his image, I should be able to, juxtapose at some point. But you see, womanhood, I love being a woman because that's all I'm made for. I've been made to be that woman, and I don't want to cross my line unless and until this has happened. So many women don't understand that. Really, they don't.
Wow, that is deep. Wow. I'm still playing my head around it. But a big shout out to all the men out there who are doing this. And then somebody just said, I'm a 51-year-old sickle cell warrior. And it says, and a father to 4 beautiful kids and playing the role of a father responsibly. A role wouldn't have been a role that wouldn't have been possible without my wife's support. A shout out to you, Mr. Bill Ogbonaya. Thank you for that comment and thank you for being that
uh,
present dad in the life of those children. It's huge
human.
and we don't take it for granted. I celebrate you. Thank you so much. And to every father out there, I don't talk about my husband today. Let's leave that package because I
We
see.
should talk about him.
Let's leave it. Let's just cage that there and let's come back to us. If I start talking about him, I wouldn't stop this conversation today. We'll end this story. But listening to you about motherhood and fatherhood, I then discovered that we have a whole lot of things to do as women to help the men be the present
Mhm,
father that God has ordained them to be.
mhm, mhm,
And I just pray that
mhm.
every woman out there has heard. We will not cross our lines, we'll play our role and help
Yeah,
the men be the men that God has ordained them to be. In
actually.
celebrating fatherhood, it's us playing our part, helping them to shine as the lights that they are called to be. We are the administrators, the carrot and the stick. And I'm going to come back there, particularly with the girl child. Men are so awesome. They are possessive. They are just blessed with the women child, with the girl child. And really, for men, their girls never grow old. They are always their daddy's baby girl all their lives. As a woman, how do you help balance that? Because sometimes it's like, because it's the girl, anything Yomi wants, Yomi gets, and
Yeah.
it's tough. Okay, and then the woman now becomes like the thatcher, the wicked person. How do you manage that daddy daughter thing to maintain the balance, particularly for the girl child?
All right. You know that I'm a daddy's girl too. I was the daddy's girl. God rest my father's soul. But I grew up and I understood the scripture. I began to understand why God put that love in a man for his daughters and the opposite for the man, for the woman. I love my son, and my daughters always accuse me of loving him more. But you see, there is always going to be, God knew in the beginning that there was going to be a constant in the world, man and a woman. Marriage, he instituted it. You see, when a father is not in the life of his daughter, he has cheated her almost 50% of her life, because he is the one that introduces being a father, a husband, a brother, a friend, even if it's just a colleague, to his daughter. And so I think women should understand that. And I guess we are getting to agree with that. We tend to think that they are spoiling them, although some really go ahead and spoil them. But this is exactly what God does to us, the last borns of God. We are the women, the last borns of God. He cares for us. If you notice, it looks like every time when we pray, God answers first. I don't know, until we get to heaven, he will clear that. But I think that that is a prototype that was given to us for man and a daughter to understand that, look, this is the kind of man that you will meet one day. And so that's why when you meet a well-nurtured daughter, you find that she hardly chooses a man far away from her father. The spec would be so similar because she was raised inclusive, unfortunately, to that one that was abused, because that
Mm,
prototyped fatherhood or husbandhood or manhood in that way. And so she sees, especially, and my heart breaks to say that, when you meet a broken woman, check her father most times, not really the mother. Check her father. He's the one that showed her who my men are. And
mm,
it tends
mm,
to think that this is all that is in manhood. But when you meet a man that raises a daughter well, I mean, that girl is bold. That young girl is affirmed. That girl does not see, I grew up, my father telling me, let me tell you the story. I don't know whether I have said it once. My father used to tell me, look at the Queen of England.
mm,
Every Sunday, my father would say, who is that Queen of England? Now, of course, he used to say that to my other sisters, but I knew he was particular about me, because of my pigmentation. And so it was when I grew up. And so I never even knew I had this dark skin, the color. It
mm.
didn't matter. It was once in a while, I think when I was in the university, and somebody used to remind me, see your color. And I was like, really? I never saw color because my
Mm.
daddy killed it. My dad killed it. He gave me boldness. And so it was not difficult for me to choose the man that I married because I was looking for a man that was so secure.
Mm.
So my husband was, he never cared about whether I was, I mean, all of my successes, I could say I attributed to him because it was not a big deal. I recall he used to tell me, do you know you're intelligent? When I'm
Mm.
feeling I can't do it, I said, come on, Lauren, you're too intelligent for that kind of thing. This is just small. But he was quiet, but right behind me, I knew that I had somebody. So I would, my sisters affirmed, my sisters would tell me, why this guy is acting like daddy. Why? Because the picture of dad was in my head. It was not difficult for me to choose. So please, say mothers, allow the fathers raise that girl. Sometimes it's not because it's being selfish. So the same way, we should take it the same way and raise the sons. So that when they are choosing their wives, and I pray to God that you're a good mother, you would choose someone that it will be easy. You wouldn't find friction, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, or whatever laws that we're
Mhm.
finding. So we need to understand that the template is there. God did it so easy, but many times we humans, we want to interpret it our way. So when I hear
Mm.
young girls saying, no, 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 I don't want a man, I did all men are scum. I'm like, oh my goodness. You are not really, you were not raised. For a
Mm.
young girl to wake up to say all men are scum, I think she had a good bad father, or she allows herself to outside talk. Not all men are
Mm.
scum. I refuse, and I'll never. There are very good. In fact, they are in the majority. It's just because we're very good at selling bad news. We're
Mm.
very good at telling the bad stories. In mass communication, we will say, dog bites man is no news, but when a man bites a dog, it becomes a big news. The whole world would hear. And that's what is happening. We amplify the lies, we amplify the bad things. So it looks like as if it's continuously happening. Yes, we should bring it to the fore, but not make it look like that's the only thing. Because if we got back and sat down to think, you'll find out that there are great stories about great fathers that are doing good, they did good, and they're still going to do good.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. You hit you're just breaking the table, shattering the table. You're not even giving any opportunity to put that table back because the things that are very, very, very true. And unfortunately, particularly those girls that didn't have a good father figure in their lives, they
Mm.
would, when I hear it as well, all men has come, I'm like, really? All the men in my life, my father, my husband, my brothers in laws, none of them is a scum. So where are you
I'm
coming
telling
from?
you, that's it. That's it.
Um,
It.
and some
Because,
women would say, I can't get married. Marriage is slavery. And I'm like, excuse me?
yeah.
In a few days, it'll be 30 years of being married, and I'm excited about it. I won't trade it for anything. I tell you the truth.
You
30
see?
good years, and I'm enjoying it. So when I hear, I'm like, really? I don't know where I would have been being single because,
Sometimes, let me just interject here.
yeah.
When you talk about that, I've heard many people say similar, and they are genuine. They're real. It's real. And that brings me to stories, my own kind of story. We spent only 15 years in marriage. But you know what? I talk about my husband every day. And some people come to tell me, you've not gotten over it. I say, I've gotten over it, but I can't get over the stories that we made together. You see,
Yeah.
good stories never die.
True.
Good good experiences can never ever go. In fact, they actually bring back your zest for life. They make you want to do more in life. That doesn't mean, I'm not stuck to the fact that I'm not mourning, I'm not grieving, as it were, but I
Mhm.
cannot forget those things that were done for me that he took up as a father that has blessed me. No wonder the Bible says the memory of the just
Of
is
the
blessed.
just is blessed.
It will always be blessed. And so I think when I need to talk to that woman that has been so abused, and that whether by her father and has moved over to her maybe sometimes boyfriend, you won't believe it, and has moved on to maybe a husband. You see, I want you to take yourself out. It's not easy. I can't tell you that I know the formula, but I think it's a mind thing. If you begin to speak it, for the first time, I'll say sometimes fake it, it will become real. I don't believe in
Mm,
that line, but I think when you begin to say it, you will attract. You attract what you say. You
true.
attract. Don't always. I can't imagine. I rebuke my daughters when they want to say, and they say, "Mommy, it's not that deep." I say it's deep. For
Very.
every line, I don't think the devil is ever moving around, just for jokes. It doesn't sift jokes. So that's what you should also be intentional with every word. Oh, I'm meeting the right man. I know that my children's father is good. I'm not talking about that abusive that wants to kill you. No, I'm talking about those ones that you want to change, and before you know it, somehow God will begin to help you navigate towards the right kinds of people. Because when you talk about that, you find yourself, check your cycle or the cycle of your relationships. You find out that you are around those people that speak the same language. And so when you begin to speak the language, when would you ever think of saying anything otherwise? You
Mm.
can't.
And then
That's
what
it.
you say is what you get.
That's it. What you say is what you get. Life is so interesting. Every day we have things telling us truth. Computer says garbage in and garbage out. You drop information inside the computer, you don't expect it. Even if it's a chat GPT, as they say, chat GPT is a gathering of information across over a period of time. When you check, you find out it's someone else's word just being said, even if it's yours. So whatever you say comes back to you. And unfortunately, most times they come back 100-fold, thousandfold, and I mean, in many folds. They never come back because they're productive. They don't come singularly. It's like
Mm.
planting. Two seeds of maize come out as sprouting out with a lot. And so that's what life is all about. It's not rocket science. Life is just what we give it, and we get what we give.
Hmm. Life is what we give it, and we get what we give. Wow, time is fast spent. I'm not sure we're not going to have a part two of this, but for now, because it's so much, and you dive into some areas that really, 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 I wish a lot of us will listen to it again and again and realize that we're actually the architect of our own future.
People,
And
people.
whatever we want is what we begin to build now with our words. Well, let me take your final words because of time. I will celebrate fatherhood in this season of the Father's Day.
Okay, let me celebrate every father that is there on the grind, refusing to accept. My heart went out yesterday to those fathers that have been unthanked
Hmm.
despite their hustle. My heart goes out to them. The fathers that have been, scorned at,
Hmm.
especially those words. That's why I said at the beginning, I'm careful when I use the word the present dad, because some fathers, they ought to have gone, they needed to go out, they needed to
Hmm.
be found. At that point, it would have been better if that mother understood that daddy is not around, continuously speaking to that child and telling that child, daddy is away not because he does not love you, daddy is away because of what you're enjoying. If a
Hmm.
mother balances that, I think at their old ages that are they're here lonely, they would not be telling dads that you were not there when I needed you. You were always only
Hmm.
supplying. You know, it's not true. He was supplying, he was present in another way. After all, they said, two shall become one. So
Hmm.
mothers that have not been able, they were not wise enough to have told the children that, look, daddy was there. It's just that he had to do what he had to do, like a military man, like that sea man that had to go on the high sea and stay long and come back. My heart goes out to you because you mean well. and then you seem to have been given back the wrong end of the stick. We love you. And on behalf of those that have misinterpreted you, we say we are sorry. So happy Father's Day.
Wow, happy Father's Day to every single father figure out there. We truly appreciate you, we love you, we celebrate you, and we pray for you that the Lord will keep you long to enjoy the rich fruits of your labor. And thank you so much, Regina, for being on this program again.
You
I'm not sure I'm not
too.
bringing you back next week. I'll come back to that conversation because we just scratched this. But thank
Yeah,
you
we
so
do.
much for the insights, for being real, for allowing yourself to be vulnerable to share your stories with us. And tell Ogechi I'm still coming for her. She's going to come here
Yeah,
and tell her story by
no
herself. Thank you
problem.
so much
Welcome.
and
Appreciate it.
enjoy the
Bye.
rest of the day.
You too.
Bye. That was a whole lot to talk about. That was so much. And a big shout out to every single person that's been with me on this call today. Thank you so much for the comments. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for being here. And for even the DMs I got while the program was on, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I don't take it for granted at all. And like I will say again, Oliver Twist, I will keep saying it. Like the video, share it, pass your comments. And if you're watching on either Facebook or LinkedIn, please hop up to my YouTube channel and please subscribe and then click on the notification button. So every time we come on live, you will get to know. Thank you so much for being with me on this program. And we're continuing next week, Monday, another edition of Knocks to Nuggets. Still on this parenting. Can we finish it? It's tough, but we'll still look at another aspect of it again. And I know that by the time we see it all together, we will have become better parents, better children, and our society will be a better place. Thank you, every single person that's been on this call, and thank you to everyone that will watch thereafter. I appreciate you giving me a share of your time. And until I come your way next week, Monday, another edition of Next to Nuggets, don't forget it. If you can think it, you can be it, and yes, you can have it. And always remember this: together we win. Thank you so much, everybody. I do appreciate you. God bless you and enjoy the rest of the week. Bye for now.